Good evening. Interim Pastor David Garnett here with the weekly devotion for today, July 29th, 2020. Here is our scripture for today from the Gospel of John 15, verse 5, the words of Jesus spoken in the upper room to his disciples. I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who abide in me and I in them bear much fruit, because apart from me, you can do nothing. I'm so enjoying reading with you on Sundays the great foundational stories of our faith in Genesis. It's so interesting to me that the Bible begins not with a long list of dogmatic truths that we must believe, but rather it begins with an epic, multi-generational family story full of ambiguity and questions and loose ends and imperfect people, and a God who refuses to tidy up the human mess, but stays faithful to the people in it, no matter who they are and what they do. I feel like these Wednesday midweek devotions have become for me something of the overflow of reading those stories together on Sunday. I just can't say it all on Sundays. Lately, I've been pondering from those stories the barrenness of Sarah, Rebecca, and Rachel. Later in the Bible, we'll read about the barrenness of Hannah, the mother of the prophet Samuel, and the barrenness of Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. For a time, sometimes a long time, these five women were not able to be productive or fruitful in their lives in the way they wanted to be productive and fruitful, which for them was bringing children into the world that they could love. Eventually, God did intervene in each of these women's lives and brought them from a state of barrenness to a state of fruitfulness. That's what God does in all of our lives. That's how you know that God is present with you in this life. God facilitates that movement from barrenness to fruitfulness in our lives. And that might mean something very different for each and every one of us. That picture of barrenness and fruitfulness is such a rich image for all of us, men and women. For surely we have all been through periods of life when, in one way or another, we felt barren, unfruitful, uncreative, stale, unproductive. We may have stayed in that state for short periods of time or long ones or in between. But sooner or later, God intervenes through some person or some circumstance and makes us gradually or sometimes instantly fruitful and productive again. When we struggle in adolescence to know who we are apart from our parents and family and friends, it can feel like a barren wasteland. But when we finally come to terms with our own uniqueness and begin to move in the direction of our uniqueness, we begin to feel fruitful again. When we struggle as young adults to find our calling in life, our vocation, we may struggle through several jobs that don't fit us just right, and we may feel barren. And then suddenly we find ourselves working in the area of our true vocation, and we feel fruitful again. Even if you're working in the area of your vocation, you may hit the wall 20 years down the road and experience barrenness for a while until you get a second wind in your vocation, or you move to a variation of your vocation, or you respond to a whole new second calling in life. When we feel called to be married, we may have to endure the barrenness of dating other people who really don't match up with us very well. And then all of a sudden, your life partner shows up and your life is fruitful again. Waiting for children to come can be a time of barrenness. And then they show up and your life is fruitful. It's full of meaning and purpose for the next 18 years and beyond. When they leave home, it can feel like another period of barrenness for a while until you find a new meaningful outlet for your child rearing energies. The first year or years of retirement or bereavement can feel barren when there is no longer a job or a primary person to organize your life and give it meaning. But then in time, you make your own meaning and find your footing again, and life feels fruitful again. In our scripture today, Jesus talks about fruitfulness in life and that we become fruitful in life when we stay connected to Him. He uses the image of a grapevine and says, I am the vine and you are the branches. Those who abide in me bear much fruit. It is always God who takes us from that barren, unfruitful place in life and makes us fruitful again. And it's Jesus who makes that same God known to us and makes that same God real to us and makes those same fruit-bearing energies available to us. In the Gospel of John, it's clear that fruitfulness for Jesus means getting outside yourself and growing in love for others, moving in care and concern towards others in need, and responding to them in service and sacrifice, just like God does for us, and just like Jesus modeled for his disciples. One of my favorite paintings is called La Primavera by Sandro Botticelli. It hangs in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. La Primavera is translated into English as first growth or first green or spring. And in the center of that picture is a very pregnant woman who might be the Virgin Mary or might be the Roman goddess Venus. It's hard to tell. Might be both in some weird way. And a framed copy of that painting hangs in our bedroom at home. And so I see it daily. And every time I look at it, I am reminded of the new life God brings me and all of us. God can be relied upon to take us from that barren place and make us fruitful again. That's tonight's devotional. Good having you tonight, and look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Bye for now.